Hi, everybody. Beth Wietrikowski, Michael Saunders and Company. So we are in Southwest Florida, for those of you who haven't been here yet, which means that we are on the Gulf Coast. Thankfully, it looks like we're going to be fine. Looks like Dorian is going to not even maybe hit the coast of Florida and then just skirt up the Atlantic. Possible landfall either in the North Carolinas, still possible landfall in Florida. If that happens, it'll come across. They're looking at like maybe Cape Canaveral. Hey, Michael, or into Orlando. But as of right now, hi JC, as of right now, Sarasota and the Gulf Coast is safe. You can pretty much count that we feel like we're in the clear because as of yesterday, the emergency shelters closed down, or actually announced that they would not be opening. In Sarasota, our emergency shelters are our schools. So a lot of people I know that are first responders or those who are admin or teachers or what have you for the school system got the word that they would not indeed be opening the shelters. That's good news for us. Unfortunately, hi Rocky, the East Coast is still under watch and warning, and it is possible that they're still going to get a lot. Of course, unfortunately, the Bahamas is just getting beaten up right now, and it's not looking good for them. But on to real estate, which is why we're here. If you have a property under contract here in Sarasota and a hurricane comes through, if you are buying your property with a loan, you all know that part of the process is you're going to have an appraisal, because that is the bank coming in and making sure that their investment, because don't forget, it's their loan, that their investment is worth what you contractually agreed to. So let's say that you've already had your appraisal and the hurricane comes through. Hurricane, and it doesn't necessarily matter what strength it was. It doesn't necessarily have to be a 4 or a 3 or a 5 to come through. We've seen this with some of the lower ones. We saw it a whole lot with Irma when Irma came through and she came up through the Naples area. If you have an appraisal before the hurricane and the hurricane hits before closing, there is a really good chance that your closing will get delayed because your lender is going to have another appraisal. The reason they're going to do this is to make sure that there's no damage. They don't want to lend $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, $600,000 on a property that may not have a roof anymore. Or maybe the windows got blown in, or there's a leak, or there's water damage, or any of this sort of thing, which would greatly decrease the value of the house. So this is something to be aware of when you're buying a house in hurricane season. And don't forget, hurricane season ends in November. We are very, very active in September and in October for hurricanes. So this is something that we pay attention to. If you are in the process of buying a property right now and you do have your appraisal, if a hurricane comes through, and not just on the other coast, but if the hurricane comes through the Sarasota, Manatee, Venice area where you're buying here in our area, if a hurricane comes through, there is a really good chance that your lender is going to say, whoa, you're not closing till we have the appraisal. Here's the problem. Problem with that is it holds everything up. It gums up the works, as they like to say, because we've already got appraisals scheduled perhaps for those couple weeks after the hurricane, which is when the timing and the schedule and everything normally falls when people go under contract on a property. Then you add into the mix a whole bunch of reappraisals. That doesn't mean that, like, for example, this weekend, if Dorian had hit today or yesterday, that you're going to have your reappraisal on Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. It could be that your reappraisal may not happen for another week or even 2 weeks because they've got to throw it all into the mix with all of the other appraisals. Hi, Jason. It could very well delay your closing. So this is one of those things that if you are under contract, you've already had your appraisal and a hurricane comes through, you've got to get with your realtor, you've got to get with your lender and find out what's going on to make sure that you are going to close on time, and hi Terry, and see if perhaps it's going to be delayed. You cannot close without that appraisal, and if the bank orders another appraisal, hi Lori, you stay safe, it's coming your way. If you have, if the bank orders another appraisal, your closing may be delayed. That's all I got for you today. It is Labor Day weekend. I hope you all have fun. I hope you all in the path stay safe, heed the warnings, do what they tell you to do. If you need to get out, get out. It's not worth staying through. Have a great Labor Day weekend. I will be back on Wednesday morning at 9. If you have any questions about appraisals and hurricanes, throw them in the comments and I will be happy to answer them. If you have any questions about real estate in general, throw it in the comments or DM me and I'd be happy to answer them. Have a great holiday. Stay safe. Enjoy yourselves. And I will see you on Wednesday. Bye, everybody.